Follow me, I'll do maintenance on the ladder now. All right, now on both ends, you're gonna have a swivel on your waterway. So grease both sides, food grade super lube. And only use like here and your waterway seals, food grade super lube, and only use a hand pump. Don't use a battery operated. You'll get too much pressure in it.
There's caps on those you gotta replace?
They twist off.
Twist off? Okay.
So, waterway, don't hit it on anything. I think this waterway is about 20,000. So try not to smack it on anything. Right here's that relief, 165, fully open at 200. Now on the outside of the waterway pipe, ATF, automatic transmission fluid, fully extended, sprayed on a rig, wipe it down, cleans it, lubricates it. 10 hours of aerial operation. Okay, greasing of the ladder. You want to do top, side, and bottom. Wipe the old stuff off, put a thin layer of new stuff on it. That's that food grade super lube. So anywhere you see a pad rubbing on the ladder section, that needs to be greased.
What do you use to clean it off with? Just wipe it off, or?
You can just wipe it off. Some people use Dawn hot water. Some people spray the whole thing down with brake cleaner. That's a little aggressive, I think. Yeah. They also clean the command zone screen in the cab with brake cleaner. That doesn't work good either.
Brake cleaner.
Got it extra clean,
Yeah.
extra cloudy now. All right, here's your seals. Food grade super lube, a couple pumps on each side. Now on the back side here, there's a overflow. You get a little grease out of the top of that.
You pump it till it comes out?
Yep. Again, ATF. Now your cables, get a cable lube on them. It's all it says in the back of the manual, chain / cable lubricant. Put a glove on, spray it on a rig, wipe them down, cleans them, lubricates them. And also if you ever pressure spray the ladder, don't pressure spray the cables. You can see when they're made, you got kind of a lubricant kind of built into them. So if you pressure spray them, you blast that out, and then that's when they're gonna start rusting. Your sheaves, okay, that gets that moly grease. So waterway, food grade, ladder sliding sections, food grade, moly. All right, this section the same thing. Bottom, side, top. And again, extend it out once a month. Walk it like this. Check it if it's dry or dirty.
No adjustments on the wear pads, correct?
No.
Don't touch those, right?
No. The shops. Same on this section. And when you do put it on, just like that, just a thin layer. You don't have to put a 1/4 inch to group it on. Take a 2-inch paintbrush and paint it on. Let's step over to the other side. These pins up top, they get the moly grease. They'll raise it up, couple pumps, move it up and down, couple pumps. Right here, moly.
Than the other one. I see there's a red. Are the other ones like different color?
I think the ones on the waterway are black, but it was just accidental. Yeah. All right, one more. Right up inside there. Okay, it says rotation bearing grease. All right. So the big gear underneath the turntable, you'd raise the ladder up, rotate it, and somebody grease that. That'll grease the inside of that big bearing underneath the turntable. And that's like once a year. So that's not every 10 hours. And the teeth on the outside of that big gear, you want to brush that on with that same molly.
Once a year?
That could be a 10 hour, just look at it and if it's dry or dirty.
How do you access those? How do you access the big teeth?
You'd have to take this off.
Cover off?
Yeah. All right. Stabilizers underneath the beam, food grade super lube. Fully extend them, wipe it off, brush it back on. Just a thin layer again. Your foot, molly.
Top two.
You don't have to do the top so much, but anywhere you get any kind of rubbing, don't be afraid to, put a little bit on there. Did I show you the one in the back? You would grease your foot, but this right here is that slide that gets stuck up once in a while. Now they did put a stainless steel guard on them, so they shouldn't anymore, but if it ever comes down and for some reason it won't come back up, it's because it's stuck and it thinks it's planted, that's why it won't come up. And we actually had a guy in Wisconsin that tried to drive away with one of those planted. That would have been bad. Probably thought he had the emergency brake on.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Any questions?
How about the ladder? Any loop points on the ladders or the doors?
No. I've seen people put a little lube inside of there so they don't dry out, but these come on with the Aerial Master. So, and there's a proc switch here.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it's still, if one of these aren't up, step not stowed in the cab, and does it come up as the pump panel step not stowed?
I don't remember. It'll identify which one it is.
It will? All right. The old ones, it would show up pump panel, and everybody would beat up the pump panels, and one of these wasn't all the way up.
Yeah, it'll identify.
All right. All right, that's about all I got.